folks, it's Andrew here again. It's June 1st. It's about 74 degrees out here, which is a little cool for my area, but we're gonna see what these girls are doing and see what kind of honey they got going on. Haven't been into them for about 2 weeks, or haven't shot a video on them in about 2 weeks. Last week I was in a little hurry, but I can slow down this week and see what we got going on. Get into this first hive here. This has a new queen this month, or about a month ago. So we'll see what they have going on as far as honey stores. See if they've made any progress on these boxes here. Looks like they have a little honey coming in, a little nectar coming in. Capping these frames off pretty good. Still bringing in nectar. Still really wet nectar, so they're on a flow somewhere. Drawing these frames out pretty good out here. Filling them with nectar. See if we can't turn that one around and get them to draw it out a little more on that side. Box is looking good. Right now, most of the nectar around my area is clover. We've got some mimosa that is starting to bloom, so they'll be getting on that soon. And hopefully I can have a pretty good mimosa harvest this year. Last year, that's all I ended up with because it was my first year starting out. Looks like the frames are stuck together. Got this one frame drawn out really thick. Seems like it's the only one they've been working on. Starting to put some nectar in there. Yep, some fresh nectar coming in. Put this on the outside, maybe they can draw some of these other frames out. We'll go down in the deep here and in the brood chamber. See what the queen's got as far as brood pattern, see if she's doing okay. And then I'll go through the rest of these real quick. A little less population than normal, so see what's going on with that. That acid's eating that queen excluder there. Keep an eye on that. Don't want to have an issue with queen getting through because the acid ate through the bars. Drawing out a little comb. She's got a good brood pattern. Cat brood, larva, eggs. Good brood pattern on this side. Backfilling with eggs. She's not on this frame, no swarm cells, which is good. Brood, eggs. Don't see a queen. There's a queen cup. See if there's anything in it. No egg in it. Hatch and brood. You hear those drones take off, they sound like a helicopter or something going by. Laying eggs all up on this frame. So that's 3 frames of brood. Building up this nest, or this colony. Got plenty of bees. Pulled all my pollen traps off so that they can have the pollen for the rest of this bee season here. They do bring in some pollen even with the traps on, so it's not like you're taking all the food from them. They got some orange pollen here from some dandelions that are around. Fresh eggs laid on this frame. Kind of scanning to see if she's on this frame. I don't think I've marked this queen, but I could be wrong. Well, she's not on that one. So that's 4 frames of brood and eggs. Brand new queen. She seems to be doing pretty good. Yep, this frame's full of cap brood, so this hive will be taken off within the next week or 2. Backfilled with eggs. I don't see her on this frame either. Just doing a quick little inspection, making sure I don't have any queen cups or any swarm cells or any supersedure cells. Make sure they're drawing everything out. Starting on this frame, looks pretty good. Hopefully they get that one going. Get this green drone comb or green drone frame out. I like to keep it in year round just so I have plenty of drones in the area. Of course, they all start flying off when they get exposed to light. Looks like they're outside honey frame here. Yep, got honey and pollen, bee bread. More honey, pollen, and bee bread. Seem to be doing good, so I'm gonna close them back up and move on to the next one. Now this hive has an older queen, one of the original queens. They will be getting requeened probably late June. I'm gonna make some splits and requeen off of my biggest hive down there on the end. Try to get some queen cells that I can replace these queens with. I try to replace them at least every other year and see if it makes a difference on the honey harvest. Really got this glued down, that's for sure. They got 3 frames with capped honey on them, and they're working on these center frames here. They're putting a little honey in. Smoke the girls down real quick. Do a little quick inspection. See, I'll tell you if I see anything out of the ordinary. Got cap brood all out here on the outside. So that's why you got to be careful when you're pulling up your frames. You never know. Queen might be on that frame on the outside because she has laid eggs all the way out there. There is a queen cup. We'll see if there's anything in it. practice cut. Queen's not on that frame, so I'll sit it right there. Just got to be careful with that brood. Full frame of cap brood here. Need a little work on the wax. Maybe they can finish drawing that out with some kind of flow that comes on. They are definitely on some kind of honey flow with how calm they are right now. If they don't have anything to do, they get kind of agitated. They're laying this up. I got eggs. They need to work on that wax there, draw it out some more. They'll get there. This will be one of the hives that needs requeening. I know she's laid up a good pattern, but just haven't had the nectar flow that I'd like to have out of these girls. I mean, they've only got 3 frames of capped honey and frames that have no wax on them whatsoever in the middle. This doesn't make any sense. Maybe if they get on a little clover flow here, maybe they'll start drawing it out better. But they seem to be doing okay. I'm sure if the queen was a little bit younger, a little bit newer, she'd push these girls to build this out a little faster. But this frame's full of cap brood and pollen on this side. I mean, she's still got a good laying pattern, just not laying as many eggs as she should and bringing in nectar like they should. This is an overwintered queen, so I would think they would bring in a pretty good amount of nectar, but they didn't. I'll just put these girls back together and let them get back to work and move on to the next hive. They got plenty of cap brood, plenty of pollen and plenty of honey. Maybe they'll put a good bit in when the mimosa starts going. We'll see. Now this hive here has a new queen in it. They requeened themselves on April 27th. So they're doing pretty good. We'll get in here, make sure everything's all right. They have a honey super, but I doubt they've drawn out very much of it, being new. And of course they've got the frames stuck to this lid here. Gave them some drawn comb to see if they would put any honey in it. We'll see. Gives them a little bit of a head start. Go into this middle here, see if they've got any honey stored. And putting a little nectar in there. So getting started anyway. I gave them this box 2 weeks ago just to see if they would put any nectar back. Looks like they've got some bee bread in here. They'll fix it up. I may have drawn comb for some splits. But we'll get down in the bottom here and see what this queen's doing. They did have a small hive beetle issue last week, but I think part of it was because those drawn combs that I gave them caused the issue with the small hive beetles. They're on the smaller side for sure, but with a new queen, you never know what she's gonna do, how fast she's gonna lay. Drawing out some new comb there. Small hive beetle, smush it. Trying to run from me. Don't think so. Squished. As other beekeepers would say, that's 10 points for me. Squishing those small hive beetles, everyone dead, is even better. Got cat brood here. Good laying pattern. Bees look good and healthy. Got new young bees on that frame. They're definitely putting the propolis on these frames. Good cat brood pattern there. Try to see if I can see down in there, see if there's any cells, but or any eggs in those cells, but they're kind of older frame. It's hard to see those cells in those, or hard to see those eggs in those older cells. They're drawing this out. She's got some eggs laid in here. Just kind of scanning as I go to see if I can find her. When I do normal inspections, I don't really look for the queen. If I see her, that's great. If I don't, no big deal. As long as I see eggs, that means she's been in the hive in the past 24 hours. Good cat brood pattern here. No swarm cells. Little queen cup down here at the bottom, but it's just a practice cup. Nothing in it. And there's the queen right there on the bottom frame. She's trying to run from me. She's right there in that corner. See if you can see her. So she's doing good. We'll slide this back down in there real slow. Make sure we don't squish her. Good brood pattern. Looks like she's gonna be a good, decent queen for me. Got a little waggle dance going on in this bottom corner over here. You don't get to see that very often. Just telling other bees where the nectar source is, saying that they found something worth going after, telling them how far away it is and where to get it. Doing this single brood management makes it a lot easier for me to do these inspections real quick. This frame's full of eggs here. You can see down in there. And this one is full of nectar and bee bread to feed those little baby bees. But back to the single brood management. It's just, for me, it's easier to do the inspection, get through them quicker, and see what you need to see. And you don't have to search for the queen through 2 boxes and chase her around. I just like it better. That's the way I started last year, and it worked out. This spring didn't have any issues with them swarming, but a lot of that goes back to how you manage your bees. And I'm in these girls every week. And that helps me keep on top of if they need to be split or they have any swarm cells or anything like that. It's a lot easier just to come and do 1 box. That way you don't have to go through 20 frames. All you gotta do is go through 10. The only time I will do 2 brood boxes is when I want to build up to make splits. I will put the second box on there early spring. I'm talking like February, late February, early March. And I'll let that queen lay up into that second box. That way I can have some brood and some eggs for the splits to make new queens and be able to have as many hives as I can get before the honey flow starts. It'd help if I put that lid back on. But I like single brood management. Each beekeeper has their own theories as to whether single brood management is easy or difficult or whatnot. You'll see a lot of the commercial beekeepers, they'll do 2 brood chambers and then they'll put a queen excluder in when the honey flow comes and bring them down to a one single box, and then that way all that forage force from that double brood chamber goes out, and they'll fill that second deep with honey. So there's different ways, different people do it. I'm not saying one way is better than the other. All right, so this is an older queen from last fall. It's also one of the ones that I need to requeen in June. And you may ask, you know, why are you requeening them if they produce good honey for you? Well, down here in the south, they only lay eggs for so long, and about a year to 2 years is about as long as you want a queen to lay eggs down here, because they don't really get a brood break. And like I was saying, you'll have queens that just stop laying in the middle of the season because they ran out of eggs. That's how it works in some parts of the country. And you might say, well, I've got 5 years out of my queen and she lays just fine. Well, that's great. That's awesome, but I'll be requeening mine every other year. But I will be requeening from my own stock so that I get the genetics in this apiary that I want to keep. And most of my queens will be coming from this hive this year. It's my largest honey producer, lays the most brood, best brood pattern, bunch of bees, quick build up. So far I haven't had any issues out of it. No swarm tendencies. The outside frame just waxed, they've been building up. That drone right there. It's funny, they're the loudest and the biggest bee other than the queen, but they can't do nothing to you. They don't have a stinger. All bark, no bite. Nothing but a bunch of drones there. Most of these hives, they're pretty calm. I could split off any of them. I just want to make sure that my splits that I do make this June are ones that next spring will act like this hive to my right here. This is a bunch of cap brood, some eggs backfilled, fresh eggs on this side. Young bees attending to the larvae down here. But I'm just going to go through these 5 hives and then probably call it a day, so this video isn't too long. Try to get through these pretty quick. Sometimes it's hard to get through them and show a video on every one of them. It takes a lot of time to set up cameras and get them where you want them, and kind of have to talk while you're going through this. Hopefully you don't miss anything. Full frame of brood here, got some emerging bees. Drawing out the wax on these. I'm hoping next year that I can start raising some queens and maybe even selling some nukes and selling some queens. I'm gonna try my hand at rearing queens anyway. Bunch of cap brood on this one. Emerging brood, some eggs down in there. Bees look good. Got some waggle dances going on. Bees are pollen on their legs. Just look good. I mean, we're past the, hopefully past the swarm stage. They're just out trying to find nectar, trying to fill these honey boxes as fast as they can. I think once that mimosa blooms and they find those sources, these boxes will fill up pretty quick, I hope. We'll see. But they got cap brood all the way out to the outside frame here. Got waggle dances going on. Cat brood, eggs, bunch of cat brood and eggs. It's good. Haven't seen the queen yet. A lot of baby bees. Full frame of cap brood, other than the wax that they haven't drawn out at the bottom and corners. So she's doing good, doing what she can. Put them back together and see if we can't get a honey crop here. They got a pretty good box up top. Just trying to get them to draw out this second box here. Put these girls back together and move on to the next hive here. Go through this last one here, and then well, my video camera stopped recording about on my fourth hive there. Y'all didn't get to see that last one that I did, this hive right here, but it's got a full honey super, and they're working on that second one. But that hive right there will be the one that I use to requeen this summer, and hopefully if she overwinters, we'll be doing splits with that hive next year and using all her eggs for our queen rearing that we're gonna try. But y'all make sure you like, subscribe, and watch more of my videos. I'll see you on the next one.